Well, morning everybody. Today we're doing a little bit of work on our planter here. We're emptying out our seed boxes here and taking our meters out, and we're going to take those over to John Deere and have them checked out. John Deere's running a special right now, so just emptying out what little bit of seed corn's left in there, and we're going to take the meters out and take them over and get them checked out. That way when it comes time to plant, everything's ready to go.
Put the opener just as long as the spring and it had a little bit of downtime. So yeah, those are done. They don't need done.
These tip out, correct?
They tip forward and you have to lift them back. And then you gotta get
am I hooked on?
the chain probably to drive.
Don't do that.
You gotta go up a little higher. Now you got it. Snug that way they don't leak. It's important.
Well, now we're taking our meters off our seed boxes here. We're numbering them so that when we come back to put it back together, everything's where it goes. And I'm taking these and putting them in this tote over here. And these we're going to end up taking into John Deere and having them run them on their test stand in there and see if they need anything. And if they need anything, they'll go ahead and change it out.
That right between
the importance of having these things running good is so you don't have any skips or doubles or anything like that. Nothing is more aggravating than when you're all said and done and you're standing there watching your crop grow, seeing skips and doubles or a whole row complete that wasn't working properly. That's kind of aggravating. You know, you spend the money on the seed, you want to go out there and grow and do a good job for you. So
we have a monitor that tells you if the row is planting, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what the accuracy is. It tells you that seed's going through the planter, but these meters determine the actual spacing, which is very important. So the plants are spaced properly so the ears are uniform. If they crowd each other, you end up with nubbies, misformed ears, and that hurts your yield. And you're after the best yield you can get, which means you have to have the best accuracy possible, and that's what we're after. I forgot the number then.
Okay.
Sorry,
that's
got talking, and where did I put it? Well, here it is. No, here it is. Too many pockets. Okay, so let's turn it.
Got it?
Yeah, it was turned like this, and the other one I put the number right here. So this is 5. Oops. There you go.
Kind of dicey trying to figure out how to get them in here without having anything rubbing on the other one that could potentially break something in transit to the place we're going with them.
Paul Dar gave me that box. Dollar Farms down there.
Yeah.
I suppose someday I should get his precision meters. I haven't yet, but it's a fair chunk of change. And, they say those should be taken apart every year and stored individually somehow. So I guess you have to have a container to put them in so that it's stored correctly. This would be 4. But those are really nice meters.
Yeah.
They'll take you as close to 100% as you can get. These you'll get 99.8, 99.9 out of some of them. when they run them. He ran them down there one year for us. You were with me when we picked them up.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time you met him. They used to come to the Huebner
I think we
meetings.
took him down. Was it last year?
No, it might have
We
been a
took
couple
him.
years.
I can't remember when it was. The local John Deere dealer up here has a parts discount right now. I guess that's kind of primarily why we're taking them over there. That, and it's 5 minutes down the road. Well, we got those all boxed up, so we're gonna take them over and let John Deere do their thing with them, and then we'll put them back on when they're done, and at least the meters will be ready to go for this coming planting season then. Well, one of the next tasks for the day is adjusting this little piece of plywood we have here. And this piece of plywood goes in the doors on those chutes on those silos. So every year we fill 2 corn silos down here at this main farm. And we only feed out of one at a time to keep ahead of spoilage. So we cap the one, and what that is we carry a plastic tarp up there and put it down on top of the silage and throw some silage on top of it and try to tamp the edges down, because corn silage will go bad if it's exposed to oxygen, you know, atmosphere. And so when you put that plastic down, it kind of seals out any air from getting into it. Now, it's not perfect, you know. It is concrete, it's porous. You know, some air does still get in there, so you end up with a little bit of spoilage on top. So when we go to open up or uncap these silos, as we like to say, you go up there with a couple forks and a couple guys, and you take that plastic up, you roll it up, pack it back up so it can come back down, and then you go around with forks, and you have to fork out any of the moldy or rotten silage, and you can visually tell the difference looking at it. You can tell the difference between good silage and spoiled silage. So we fork that out, and that piece of plywood that Dad's carrying out the door over there right now, it goes inside this door right here. And what it does is it lays in there on an angle. And so when you fork that silage out from way up top there, it comes down that concrete chute on the outside, ends up hitting that piece of plywood inside that door there, and it will deflect it out here onto the ground. And we'll then come along and clean that up with a skid loader here, and we'll put it in our manure spreader. We'll take it out on the field and spread it back on the field. It's organic matter. It came from the field, so it goes back to the field to decompose and just form organic matter in our soils. But this piece of plywood, last year when we did it, somehow got wedged in there pretty tightly and had a hard time getting it out. So we're going to take it and put it in this door here right now and see if there's some way we can make a modification to this or an adjustment to it so that it won't potentially get stuck again, because this is what, the second week of February here now. Mm-hmm. And so we're nearing the date in which we're going to end up uncapping this silo. So we're going to get this piece prepared so that when the day comes that we actually do this, we don't have to fight it that day. You know, you like to show up prepared for a job with farming. There's a lot of behind the scenes preparation that takes place. And so today we're gonna work on getting this kind of remedied, so hopefully we don't get it jam packed in there again and have to fight it out this year.
I only do this once a year, so I don't remember from time to time. If I did it every day, I'd be better at it. But that's kind of how she goes. We're going to modify it slightly. But basically, that's what it has to do. And then we're also going to put a chain or something in order to keep it from falling down as the silage hits it. And we're going to add some plastic to it for to make it slipperier so that the stuff will shoot out better with less resistance. But I am going to make a change here. I'm going to notch this a little bit more. Cut this out right here. And I think we're going to put some reinforcing on the back because that silage falls 80 feet. It has a lot of pressure when it hits here. And it wants to break it. Break it or wedge it. So we're going to go back and make a cut in there, make a couple changes, and then come back. Make sure it's going to fit before we put the plastic on it. This cage on here we put on here several years ago. All there used to be here was a ladder. It's kind of hard to hang on with one arm and get in there when it's iced up or hand parts in and out the door, so I got this idea from the exterior ladders. This is just made out of some junk we had laying around. But anyway, it's nice to have a place that you can brace yourself when you're going in and out of that door, and once in a while that does get plugged up, and it's nice to have something to stand on to unplug it. So now we're gonna head to the shop. I've said this before, but cordless tools have made farming a whole lot more fun. Gone are the days when we had to stretch cords through pens of cows and through poop and all the other excitement on the farm. It's nice now to take your power where you need it and not worry about it. We're going to add some reinforcement on the back of this because the impact of that silage falling 80 feet bows this down in, so we're going to add some strength to this, and I'm just going to screw it on there temporarily, and then once we find out that it is in fact going to work, we're going to add some plastic and probably run bolts through everything to sandwich it so there's no risk of it coming apart. So this is just a temporary fix here, just for us to do a little fit up work. I guess that's about where it's going to be. I think that'll work. We can make the top hang over a little bit farther. We can add probably 2.5 to 3 inches of material to the top, and the rest of it I think we'll just cut right where the plywood is now to allow removal. That's the only way you can get it out. A little bit of last year's rotten silage residue on here.
Decided to move the truck. I don't know if you can see on camera very well there, but out here in the winter time when you get heavy trucks and stuff driving on the driveways, they pack the snow into basically ice. And it's February now, so the sun is closer and it's warming up. So during the day the sun melts the snow and melts the ice, and then at night it flash freezes. So everything out here is basically a giant glacier.
Yeah, that's perfect because I wanted to add to the top.
So what we did over here, we got some some gravel to stand on, at least so we won't end up on our head.
And we're out of the wind.
And the wind, yes, it's very brisk today.
So where's my marker? This is a piece left over from a mixer. We surfaced the auger in our TMR mixer with UHMW. It was starting to wear badly a while back here, and this is what's left now. I'll be able to reach that. Can you come out here and hold this?
Yep.
And
Got it. Yeah, someday we'll have to have a segment on poly and all the uses we have for it. We use this stuff for just about anything, really. There's different grades of hardness of this stuff. This is not the hardest of stuff. The harder stuff we use on. It's marked all the way around in the way it looks.
Yeah, but I want to make that longer, so I don't want to cut that off. Well, maybe I'll just do this.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I wanted a more length. There. Okay. I'll get the wood out of the way. Then we take the saber saw. Chop that up. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't care.
Here?
Sure. You following exactly the line?
Yeah. Now, should we bolt this on and then make our other piece?
That's fine.
So,
you want this laying here, or how you want to do this?
I'll lay this down and then you can put that on top of it. Then we'll have to go find some bolts.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're okay with our...
How are you doing? Okay? Pretty close?
Yeah, now... yeah, I guess it's... You got some welding clamps, we could clamp it down.
Yeah.
And then we could...
make our other piece?
Yeah. Vice grips, whatever you want to use. Yeah, they use this stuff in the trucking industry too. Just like this truck we're working off of now, it has a dump bed insert, but on a smaller scale, dump trucks use it in the bottom of their beds to try to, you know, offer a slippery surface for things like wet dirt and things like that to slide out of, and two, rocks and concrete and stuff like that are very abrasive. So those dump bodies on dump trucks, they're pretty hard, but they do in time wear out, and as you can imagine, that's awfully expensive to have to rebuild those. So they also use this poly stuff in the bottom of those things. Believe it or not, I think this stuff started out for military purposes, for armor plating and Humvees. Not necessarily that you're going to think that plastic is going to stop much of anything, but the shrapnel gets caught up in it. So, you know,
saves lives.
IEDs and stuff like that can, you know, you get shrapnel and things like that, and this stuff can potentially save someone's life in that situation. What are we using for this?
Yeah, let me see those scraps. I don't know if there's probably nothing there big enough. I have to look in here and see if I have something else.
Were those ones from the table up there?
Yeah. Let me see what else. What size do you have? 5/16?
Mm-hmm.
Hope this washer over.
Did you bring a hammer?
Yeah, I did.
I have to wobble that. You have to suck it down.
It should suck it down.
You got a nut?
No.
No? You said no?
I need a nut. Thought I'd get rid of some of the nuts I don't like.
Yeah. Well, we'll never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
If they ever come off, they do with the
Yeah, you'll never
cutting
find
them off. I think I should tighten it.
Possibly. At least snug it.
I think it'll work.
Well, we pieced together some poly on there. Didn't have a full sheet, you know, to do it in one piece, but all it's for is just deflecting feet off of it, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not structural. It's just supposed to be slippery. So.
It's a calico, like the cat behind you. Where did she move?
I didn't see her. I don't know where she went then.
She was here a minute ago. It's a calico feed deflector.
Well, we're going to take it over there and
See if she fits.
see if it fits.
Oops, I think I have it backwards. Sorry, folks. I'm new at this. That looks a little better. Well, we're back. You know what they say, the third time's a charm? She's gained a little weight since the last time. You'd think I'd remember to do this, how to do this after the third or fourth time. Well, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what.
Too tight.
I think I was up too high. That's what it was. Just like this corner right here. This won't let me in that door. Make that turn. I'm afraid if I force it that I won't be able to get it back out.
Right. You want me to go
Is there any way you can get me the jigsaw?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. You want to...
Yeah, I think the jigsaw would probably solve the problem.
Okay, let me get out of here without
I just need to shave that corner a little bit.
going on my head.
Yeah, watch on the ice. There's also a little bit of rotten silage over here on my right. Actually, that isn't bad right there.
Okay, if you're happy with it.
I think if I put that chain on there, just slightly longer than this wire, and we
Chain it fast.
fasten it fast with the snap so it can't go down, I think that will work.
Okay.
I like how it fits. You know, it's backed. You know, it's not gonna.
Bow.
I don't think it's gonna cave in now, like it did before. Before it would cave in. That
Yeah.
2x4 is gonna stop that. So I'm just gonna take it out and let it down to you.
Okay.
Get it back out. So as long as you saw how I put that in there,
You go in and tip
it's, all,
it down a little.
it's gonna be all you because I'm gonna be up there.
Yeah.
You got it, sir?
Got it.
Okay, I'm letting it go.
Okay. Sit somewhere, please.
The next time you'll see that, it'll be in action.